Once, in a lively town, lived a trader who made a living by selling salt. He had a loving wife and 2 sons. His older son was extremely reserved and avoided speaking to people. The younger son, on the other hand, was bold and talkative. The older son's quiet nature often made others think he wasn't very smart. Many people even took advantage of how trusting he was. Still, he never complained. The trader often grew impatient with his elder son's lack of confidence. He would scold him severely, but this only deepened the boy's insecurities. As he grew up, his self-doubt hurt his performance in school. During exams, fear made him forget the answers. He found it hard to learn new things. When he became a young adult, his father told him to help with the shop. Terrified of letting him down, he said yes. But his anxiety caused frequent mistakes. This only fueled his father's anger. One day, while the trader was away, a group of clever tricksters arrived. They said, "Your father told us to take all the salt to the city." The young man didn't have the courage to stop them. And before he could do anything, they had taken everything. When his father came back and found the shop empty, he was furious. "You fool! You let them rob us! I've lost so much because of you. Leave and never come back!" The young man was heartbroken. His father's fury, the villagers' mockery, and his own failure crushed him. He wandered aimlessly to the riverside, overwhelmed. With a heavy heart, he thought, "There's no reason for me to live. I'm worthless." As he prepared to jump in, a young disciple passing by quickly stopped him. The young man shouted, "Why did you stop me? I'm useless. I can't do anything right." The disciple gently replied, "You only live once. If you keep going, you can succeed. But if you give up now, you'll never see your true strength." The young man shared his pain. "I'm shy and weak. My father despises me because of it. I have no education. People mock me. Do I even deserve to live?" The disciple smiled and said, "My teacher can answer that. Come with me." At first, the young man refused, but after some urging, he followed the disciple to a peaceful retreat. There, under a massive tree, sat a wise sage lost in meditation. The disciple and the young man bowed before him. As soon as he saw the sage, the young man burst into tears. The sage asked, "Why are you weeping, my child?" The young man said, "You are my last hope. If you can't help me, I'll end my life." The sage calmly asked him to share his troubles, so the young man told his entire story. After listening quietly, the sage said, "I can help you. But first, you must follow my instructions for the next 3 days. If you do, your life will begin to change." The young man, desperate for hope, agreed. On the first day, the sage said, "Talk to 10 strangers. Ask them about their lives and write down their answers." The young man was nervous but did as he was told. Some people ignored him, others mocked him, but he kept trying. By evening, he had spoken to 10 people and made a few friends. Proud of his small victory, he returned to the sage. On the second day, the sage instructed, "Teach 10 children the value of water." The young man panicked. "I'm not educated. How can I teach?" The sage said, "The children don't know that. Share what you do know." Shaking, the young man stood before the students. His hands trembled, but he managed to explain 5 uses of water. Then he ran off quickly. Back at the sage's feet, he said, "I was so scared, but I did it." The sage smiled. "Try again tomorrow." The next time, the young man spoke with more ease. By the end, he was no longer afraid. The sage said, "See, you're braver than you believe." On the 3rd day, the sage gave him a final task. "Go back to your father and ask for forgiveness." The young man trembled. "He'll never forgive me. I can't face him." The sage replied, "If you won't go, I cannot help you any further." Summoning all his courage, the young man returned home. He bowed to his father and said, "Please forgive me. I will prove my worth." Seeing his son's sincerity, the father forgave him. He gave him another chance to work at the shop. The young man returned to the sage and asked, "What's the secret to success?" The sage smiled. "You've already learned it. Your biggest enemy wasn't shyness. It was fear. People see you the way you show yourself. If you act strong, they will believe you are. True strength comes from believing in yourself." With grateful tears, the young man bowed to the sage. "I understand now. I won't let fear rule me anymore. I'll show the world what I can do." Years later, that same young man became a respected trader. He was known for his wisdom and confidence. Confidence isn't something we're born with. It's something we build. Even the most timid person can become strong by believing in themselves. Our biggest limits live in our minds. Fear and doubt hold us back, but courage moves us forward. He once thought failure was his destiny, but he proved himself wrong. Confidence grows each time we step beyond fear. The world sees us the way we choose to present ourselves. Believe in yourself, take small steps, and you'll discover strength you never knew you had. If the story makes you think, helps you, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, and share. I will be back with more interesting and exciting stories in life. Thank you for watching.